These episodes are intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion advised. Hey guys, welcome to another episode on Stories of a Dandelion. Guys, thank you for coming back and tuning in for the third episode of Tea Time and joining me in this conversation of having a secure mindset. Now, last week we talked about the importance of a healing process in having a secure mindset. Without the healing process, you're not able to have a secure mindset. And then we went into why it is so important to have your in crowd, not the in crowd that society says you're meant to have, but the in crowd that is going to support you, love on you, and be there for you in every situation. And this week, we are talking about space to grow. When you have people around you that have similar values and similar morals, but also different views on life, then that creates a space to grow because you feel safe around them. You feel that with anything you bring to them, they will come at you or they will receive it and they will let you know through love, peace, kindness, and care and respect the truth about that situation. If you don't feel safe around the people that you have around you, then it may be time to change your in crowd. Or maybe it's not that you've outgrown each other, but you're going in different directions. So now you have to find people who will be in your in crowd that are going in the same direction as you. Doesn't mean that that person may not never come back into your in crowd, or your friends of high school or middle school will never come back into that, because as we grow, we change. It just means that sometimes the people around you that can help you grow have to change, or you'll stay stagnant where you're at. So the question is, how do you know that the people around you are helping you grow? Well, don't worry, we're about to get into that. Here are some examples of how you know that you're growing with the community that you have built around you. You're able to take responsibility. And when I say that, a situation may happen and you may be playing victim, but the community around you is gonna say, hey, you gotta look at yourself. What did you bring to the table? What did you do for this to transpire? I say that to say this, that yes, not everything that happens in our life is our fault, but we also have to remember to take responsibility for the things that we do contribute to. And it's either in our lives or in the lives around us. I think a lot of times we can take that victim mentality and we can sit there and try to blame others, but at some point you're gonna have to take accountability for different parts in your life. And until you do that, you're not gonna grow. Until you say, you know what, this situation, I did make this decision, I went this way, and that is why this situation went that way, then you're not gonna grow from that situation. You're not gonna grow and learn, and you're gonna keep having that same lesson over and over again and be stagnant. And if the people around you aren't telling you, hey, you had a little bit to do with the situation as well, you got to look at yourself and say, how am I going to make the next situation better? And then take the next steps. If they're not telling you that, if they're telling you, hey, you're right, that is the other person's fault and it's only their fault, they may not be the friends that they're supposed to be in your life. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick break to ask if you are enjoying this episode. Go ahead and follow us on Stories of a Dandelion right here on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcast, as well as follow us on all of our social media accounts. Let's create this community full of military brats who feel that they're okay with opening up about their mental health, about sharing their journey, what they're going through, and create a place for beautiful healing through stories. So again, please go ahead and follow us on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, as well as all of the social media accounts. Now let's get back to today's episode. Changing your mind. And I know this sounds crazy, I think a lot of us, sometimes we are stuck on a decision, and we stay on a decision, and we believe that it's best for us. And at the end of the day, it's your decision, and you should decide what is best for you. But there are certain situations where you do need to ask others and be like, hey, like, is this what I'm meant to do? Or do you feel like I'll be good at this? Or how can I also add ... to what I'm doing? And that is when you can start to maybe not even change your mind, but you can start to see other perspectives that you would want to include in your decision. And I'm not saying every decision is this way, because there are decisions that you need to make for yourself without other people's input. But there's also other decisions that people can help you with. And I'm not saying in a way of your peers who are in the same place as you, but somebody who's older than you, who has been through what you've been through, going to them and asking them the question, like, I'm thinking of making this decision. I'm not sure if this is the right decision for me. I know that you've been through this before. Can you tell me what happened? And then maybe that will make you change your mind. And them telling you the truth is important. So that is why it's important to have like your parents or a mentor in your life, in your in crowd, to help you make some decisions in your life, because they've been there and they can help you miss out on the mistakes that they made, and they can help you get to the next level quicker because of their advice, because they say, hey, maybe you should take this route, or because they help you get to that next step. So having that mentor, having that person that's a little older than you in your in crowd is important to help you grow into each level that is coming your way, each level that is coming within your purpose. I think sometimes, when it comes to our elders, we can think that they may be outdated or that they can't really bring a lot to the table. But I think in these current times that we are definitely learning that our elders can bring a lot to the table, and they can teach us a lot. And having those mentors and having, older people within your in crowd is very important for you to be able to make the decisions that are best for you. Personal development. You can't do personal development by yourself. You can do certain parts of it by yourself, but other parts you can't. Because the way you talk to somebody who really knows you, may be like, oh, that's just them. But somebody who doesn't know you, and you're going into a situation where the person doesn't know you, you may have to change the way you talk a little bit. And so the personal development comes with your friends coming up to you and being like, that may not have been the best way to express how you felt about the situation, or that may not have been the best way to say what you said to them. And that is not to pull you down, that is not to hurt you, that is not to harm you. It is to just let you know that just because the people within your in crowd understand what you mean, it doesn't mean the rest of the world will. So it's learning to adapt to each situation, and learning that there are certain ways to do things, or certain ways to interact with people, or certain ways to react to a situation where you can get the outcome that both sides need. So it's not about changing who you are at the heart. It's just about finding the best solution to where both sides can understand one another, or have grace for one another, and be able to move into the next steps of whatever situation it is, or whatever project it may be. And this can be career, it can be personal. It helps you become a well-rounded person, to be able to adapt to the situation and be like, okay, we've talked about this, I've done this before, I don't need to come at the situation this way. I need to be a little bit more calmer, so that we can actually come to a solution and not create more problems within the career or within the relationship. So that can definitely help when you have people around you who are willing to tell you the truth, and not be like brutally, like definitely, killing you with it, but to be honest with you and let you know that, hey, look, I get you, I understand you, but that person may not. And, you got to find a better way to help them understand what you're trying to get across. And so that is what the different people around you will help you to do, to help you get your point across, to help you get what you're trying to say across a lot better. Another one is behaviors. I'm not talking about changing your personality or who you are. I'm just talking about little behaviors. I believe it's like our defense mechanisms that we have. Like, we're in survival mode for so long that when we finally get into our main character energy or our main character personality, we can bring a lot of these survival parts with us. And some of those have to change so that we can grow into the person that we want to be, into the purpose that, is in front of us, that God has put in front of us. And so it takes time. But when you have the right people around you who are willing to support you through it, who are willing to guide you through it and show you that, hey, that person that you were, that survival person, that survival part of you, I understand, I get it, and it helped you through a lot, but you don't need that anymore. You are growing into a new person, and it's the next level. You have to say thank you for helping me survive, and realize that you're moving into, now it's time to thrive. Because we weren't put on this earth to survive. We were put on this earth to thrive and live our life to the fullest. And when you have people around you who want you to do that, who want you to become all that you were meant to be, that is everything. So having space to grow includes those different things: behavior, personal development, changing your mind to see other perspectives, and taking responsibility for things. But there's also a couple more that I've written down on my phone. Embrace change rather than fear it. Learning to say no, knowing that it's okay to say no. I've already done an episode on that about being a people pleaser and how it's okay to say no. If you haven't seen that episode, definitely go back and watch that one. Another one is you don't mind making mistakes. We all make mistakes in this life. An episode on that about being a people pleaser and how it's okay to say no. If you haven't seen that episode, definitely go back and watch that one. It's all right. You made a mistake. Learn from it, grow from it, and then let's figure out what's next. How are we going to use that mistake to propel us into the purpose and the life that is meant for us? And lastly, valuing alone time. When you put people around you who are like, yo, you look like you need a little bit of time to yourself, you need to take a break, those are the people that you really need to keep in your life, because they know the value of alone time, of just getting to know yourself and being okay with who you are and the person you are, and being willing and able to spend time with that person. There's so many others. I will post this website about, how growth happens to us and how it happens within our inner circle and how it helps us have a secure mindset. I will post it down below. I want to thank you guys for tuning in for this episode. Honestly, growth happens when you have the right community and the right people around you. There's certain growth that happens alone, but the majority of growth happens in community. So please make sure that you get in community this week, that you interact with others this week, and that you share just one thing with them that you're going through or a situation, and see how they help you through that situation and help you grow into this new season of life. Other than that, guys, I love you, and I will see you all next Monday for another Military Rap Monday. Peace. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in for another episode on the Stories of the Dandelion podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please go and share it with a friend, a colleague, or even a family member. And make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms so you can stay up to date on when the episodes are coming out and what is involved in each episode. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you all next Military Brat Monday.